Pixel 8 Pro or Galaxy S24 Ultra. By the end of this video, you'll know which one I like the best and which one is total horror. Hello and welcome back to Gears and Tech. We've been using the Pixel 8 Pro for quite a few months now as my daily driver, but we recently picked up a Galaxy S24 Ultra and had a chance to do our hands-on impression of both phones. This is not an opinion piece of what I read on the internet, what other people are saying. This is my personal experience using both phones, and at the end of this video, as I said, I will tell you which one I think I would keep and which one I would happily get rid of. The Galaxy S series and the Pixel series are two of the hottest, most coveted and anticipated smartphones of this decade. I'm not just talking about the S24 or the Pixel 8 Pro, but when you look at the Pixel 7, the S23, the Pixel 6, the S22, and so on, they've always been kind of one of the two. Which one of the two are you gonna get? Now, both phones stick with the traditional smartphone design, that is the candy bar design. We're not talking about special folding screens. We're not talking about any screens on the back or any other gimmicks that you may find in some of the other flagship devices. This is the tried and true cell phone design that's been in play for a lot of years now that most of us have come to love and enjoy. Both of these phones do run the latest Android 14, and both will be eligible for the Android 15 update when it comes out, and they will be the first devices to get that Android 15 update. If you're worried about future-proofing your phone, these two phones are the best chance you have to have the longest time with the device before you're forced into an upgrade. Plus, Samsung recently said that they will support your phone through 5 generations. That takes us all the way up to the S29, which is many years away from here. So lots of support left for the S24. Google says that the Pixel will support updates for 7 years from the time that it is released. They don't talk about generations, but they have released a new phone every year, so technically it should last for 7 generations of phone upgrades, where you will get the latest Android operating system on that device. So both of them quite future-proof. Obviously, there's so much more to these phones than just the form factor and the upgradability, and that's what we want to talk about here. Which one is better in each scenario, and ultimately, which one would I choose as my permanent daily driver? Let's first talk about the design and display. Now, we already talked about the fact that both of them are the candy bar design, no folding, no flipping, no nothing. It's just a flat bar. The S24 is slightly wider and slightly longer, and I think it's slightly fatter as well. So just for comparisons, I will put them both side by side right here. You can see it's slightly taller. Now, I do have cases on these. If I put it side by side, you can see it is slightly wider. That is because the Pixel 8 Pro has a 6.7-inch OLED display, whereas the S24 Ultra has a 6.8-inch AMOLED display. When we talk about brightness, the Pixel 8 Pro has about 2400 nits of brightness, whereas the S24 Ultra has 2600 nits of brightness. So the S24 bigger, the S24 brighter. One other thing that not a lot of people are talking about is neither of these screens are curved. That was the big thing that I went to the Pixel 8 Pro for, because when I bought the Pixel 8 Pro, it was the first next generation phone that offered a flat screen. Me personally, I do not like the curved screens, especially when I'm looking to protect it. So the cases on these phones are true cases that come up slightly higher than the screen, and that's possible because the display is flat. Also, screen protectors on these are way easier to do when the screen is flat. I've never personally liked a curved screen, and I've been hanging on to whatever flat screen phone I could find. If you're like me, then these are the two phones that you're looking for flat displays currently. Both phones do utilize an adjustable refresh rate, going from anywhere from 1 Hertz all the way up to 120 Hertz. If you go to 120 Hertz, the UI is smoother and snappier. It feels better. but it will come at the cost of battery life. You will suffer your battery life. You can have a toggle turned on where it will adjust your refresh rate and it will allow you to have a little bit less frame rate when you don't need it, and it'll turn it down to save some battery life when you just don't need it. Overall though, for me, if I have to pick a winner in this category for screen, the S24 takes it. Now, why does the S24 take it? In my opinion, I have fat thumbs. I don't know if that's just my opinion, but most people would agree I have fat thumbs. When I'm holding the S24, the screen is just that little bit wider, which allows me to tap the keyboard with my fat thumbs and type more reliably accurate because of that fat screen. That's the only reason. Now, some people I know prefer to have a smaller phone and use swipe to type with one thumb. I'm left-handed, so this is normal for me. I don't like that. Call me old, call me whatever, I don't like that. So when I'm looking for a phone that fits in my hand, wider is better. So S24 for me, all day, all the way. If you don't need wider, consider the fact that it's bigger, consider it's brighter, consider it's better in every way. Cameras. The Pixel 8 Pro has a triple rear camera design, whereas the S24 Ultra has a quadruple rear camera design. Does that mean that more is better? 4 cameras versus 3, so that means it's better? Well, let's talk about camera specs slightly, and then I will tell you my opinion about cameras. First off, the Pixel 8 Pro camera. It features a triple camera made up of 50 megapixel main sensor, a 48 megapixel ultra wide sensor that has a 126 degree field of view, and a 48 megapixel telephoto sensor with 5 times optical zoom. Let's look at the quad cameras on the S24 Ultra. It has quad cameras that are consisting of a 200 megapixel main sensor, a 12 megapixel ultra wide sensor that features a 120 degree field of view, a 50 megapixel periscope telephoto sensor with 5 times optical zoom, and 10 megapixel telephoto sensor with 3 times optical zoom. Now, side note, the 5 times optical zoom is a downgrade from the S23 Ultra, which had a 10 times optical zoom. You might think that's a downgrade, but because of the increased sensor size for that camera, you get much better image quality, and it does allow you to do digital zooming after the fact if required, or use the built-in digital zoom, which supports up to 100 times digital zoom, which is actually quite phenomenal. I've tested this in a few scenarios, and it can zoom in so close to things that I can't even see myself. Moving around to the front, the selfie camera. The Pixel 8 Pro features a 10.5 megapixel camera, and the S24 Ultra features a 12 megapixel camera. So the S24 Ultra has a better front-facing selfie camera. Now, about cameras, my opinion personally on cameras is this: the camera you have is better than no camera at all. And smartphones have got to the point now where arguing about which camera is better is almost like arguing which Ferrari is better. It's really hard, and it comes down to personal preference. Is a red Ferrari better, or is a yellow Ferrari better? Well, they're both Ferraris, and they're both pretty freaking awesome. Same deal with the cameras. I'm not going to get into too much of a side-by-side comparison of the cameras. Just know that many others on the internet have gone through the painstaking process of taking pictures of each in each scenario, and the conclusion I came to in those comparisons and in my own personal comparisons is this: if you have a Pixel 8 Pro and you take a picture, you will love the picture you take. If you have an S24 Ultra and you take a picture, you will also love that picture. Both cameras are good cameras. However, it is pretty well established, in my opinion, that the Pixel 8 camera seems to take better pictures than the S24 Ultra. It's likely because of post-processing with AI, but side by side, the Pixel 8 Pro seems to take marginally better pictures with the cameras that they have and the software tweaks that they use versus the S24 Ultra. It is what it is. So for cameras, the Pixel 8 Pro is the winner by this much. It is so close, and somebody could convince me very easily that the S24 Ultra has a better camera overall, especially when you consider that the selfie camera is higher resolution than on the Pixel 8 Pro. Take it for what it is. When it comes to performance, S24 Ultra has a Qualcomm Snapdragon chipset, best on the market right now, whereas the Pixel 8 Pro uses their own Tensor G3 chip. Now we can break down the cores and the frequencies of the cores and the clock speeds of the cores and how many cores are at what frequency. And after all of that breakdown, but the fact of the matter is both phones are going to do social media fine, they're going to email fine, they're going to watch YouTube videos fine. You can even watch Gears and Tech on both of these phones with an amazing experience wherever you are, anytime that you want. But for those of you who truly care, the benchmark scores are in for both phones, and it turns out the S24 Ultra just blows away the Pixel 8 Pro. There's no comparison. With a Geekbench score for the Pixel 8 Pro of 1,755 versus the S24 Ultra coming in at a massive 2,229. It's not even close in my world. And hands-on, this feels like a much snappier phone, and I will talk a little bit more about that in future parts of this video. Let's talk about storage. Both of these phones can be equipped with up to 1 terabyte of internal storage, but the Pixel 8 Pro goes all the way down to 128 gigabytes of storage, whereas the S24 Ultra starts at 256 gigabytes of storage. Both phones also have 12 gigabytes of RAM, so it's dead even between those two. The Pixel 8 Pro obviously starts at a cheaper price, and that's one of the ways they keep that cost low, is by offering the lowest storage possible on a smartphone today. And with the high resolution of the pictures that you're gonna be taking, you're probably gonna wanna be in the 256 gigabyte range anyway, especially since neither of these phones have expandable storage. Software. We've already talked about how both of these phones run on Android 14 operating system by Google. Obviously, the Pixel 8 Pro packs the vanilla Google experience without any extra special skins or UIs, and the S24 Ultra packs Samsung Galaxy's One UI skin. Now, about skins, the Galaxy One UI skin, it's kind of a love it or hate it. Now, I've been using Samsung for a long time. I've used other launchers that have their own skins, and I've kind of gotten used to a lot of them. One thing I noticed by switching to the Pixel 8 Pro right off the bat was I couldn't find what I was looking for easily, and I wasn't sure if that was an Android 14 thing or if it was just a One UI is missing thing. And I could tell you, as soon as I picked up the S24 Ultra, it felt better to me. Let me talk to you about my experience with the Pixel 8 Pro. I've had it for quite a while. I've been using it for quite a while, and I have experienced so many bugs on this phone. In the software, the way apps load, I've had apps ghost out where I had to force close them. I've had them crash on me. This phone is a steaming mess when it comes to software. And it was surprising. It was a surprising mess because this is a Google phone with a Google operating system. It should work better than this. Now it's time for a confession. I had a Pixel 7 Pro also last year, and I ditched that just as fast and went to a Galaxy S20 actually. And the reason I went to the S20 was it was the last S series phone that had a flat screen. I tried the 21, I tried the 23. I did not like that curved screen. I went all the way down to an S20, and I've been using that for the last year. It turns out, as soon as I got the S24 Ultra with that One UI, I felt like I was back at home again. I have not experienced the same app crashing issues that I did on the Pixel 8 Pro, and the phone has just run so much smoother. The only reason I was looking at a different phone was because the Pixel 8 Pro experience was so dreadful. I was frequently trying to access my banking app, and it would just sit there blankly, just not doing anything. I had frequent problems with the phone that were so frustrating. So many times I added an S24 to my shopping cart online, and I just didn't want to buy it because it's so expensive, and I already had a flagship. But I finally bit the bullet and I went and got the S24, and I've been so much happier for it already. So sneak preview at my end tie-in here, but so far it's looking pretty good for that S24. Battery life. Both of these phones share very similar battery life and similar sized batteries. It's actually not fair to talk about battery life all by itself because both phones are going to last you all day. If you're using them properly, they'll last all day. I have seen reports online where people have said that the Pixel 8 Pro battery seems to die after 3 or 4 hours. That has not been my experience. This battery easily lasted all day with heavy usage. The S24 Ultra also lasts all day with heavy usage. I usually finish out the day with about 40% battery and it charges back up while I'm asleep. So you can't go wrong with either, but technically the S24 has slightly better battery life. But what you will notice when the battery is depleted, the S24 does charge significantly faster than the Pixel 8 Pro, and that's due to the wired and wireless charging speeds that this phone's rated for. It's better. And that's mostly because the S24 Ultra has a 45-watt charging capability, whereas the Pixel 8 Pro only supports up to 30 watts of charging. So it gets more juice in more faster, so of course it's gonna charge more faster. Cellular reception. This is a big deal and it's something that not everyone's talking about because it's really hard to quantify. So I'm gonna tell you my personal experience. Again, I had the Pixel 8 Pro for a long time and I have a day job, okay? I don't do this full time. My day job is out a little bit off the beaten path and cell reception in the area is notoriously low. So that's not unexpected, but the Pixel 8 Pro was very low to the point where I was actually having cellular connection dropouts on my Pixel 8 Pro that I did not experience on my S20 Ultra. So switching from my S20 Ultra, I pulled the SIM card out, put it into my Pixel 8 Pro. All of a sudden, I'm experiencing network-related issues. I've gone through numerous updates of the Pixel 8 Pro. I've gone to the Pixel 8 beta software program to see if perhaps there was some solutions in there. I've even talked with the Pixel 8 tech support team, and everybody went through all of the same steps. Well, reboot your connection, take your SIM card out, put it back in, reboot your phone, update your phone. Nothing seemed to work. You know what the best solution for poor reception was for the Pixel 8 Pro? Upgrading to an S24 Ultra. I took that same SIM card out of the Pixel 8 Pro and I put it into my S24 Ultra, and immediately I had 1 to 2 more bars of service everywhere I went. So at my work where my Pixel 8 Pro would have no service, it would literally say no service. Calls would fail. People would text me and I wouldn't even get the text message till much later in the day. All those problems went away immediately by switching to the S24 Ultra. So take away everything else that we've talked about in this video up to this point. The number one reason you have a cell phone is as a cell phone. So who cares if you can connect it to Wi-Fi and watch YouTube? That's great. But if you can't make a phone call when you need to, it's not a very good phone. If you can't text somebody when you need to, it's not a very good phone. And for that reason, the clear winner for me is the S24 Ultra. If it wasn't obvious already, the S24 Ultra is the phone for me. Now, I will say this. I've gone through with the tech support team so much that they finally agreed, hey, maybe something's going on. Let's swap your phone out. So they have sent me a new phone. I'm not even gonna try it. I'm gonna leave it as a brand new phone. I'm gonna sell it to somebody as a Pixel 8 Pro, brand new, never used, because somebody out there loves the Pixel 8 Pro. Maybe that is you, and if it is you, have a look on Marketplace. You can maybe buy my phone. Probably by the time you see this video, that phone will be long gone. But just know there is a small price difference. We didn't really talk about price, and it could be factored in. The Pixel 8 Pro currently sells for around $1,000. The S24 Ultra sells for around $1,300. So there's about a $300 difference in price. So the question you're gonna ask yourself is, would I rather save the $300 and get the Pixel 8 Pro? Because Anton said it's pretty good comparatively in every other aspect except for cellular reception, and maybe he just had a dud. After all, I did get a replacement, but I have compared specs with others who have a Pixel 8 Pro in the same area, and they experienced the same connectivity issues as I had. So I think that the Pixel 8 Pro just sucks when it comes to cellular reception. That's something that you might want to be mindful of. I'm curious what you guys think. So post a comment down below about your experience with the Pixel 8 Pro. Let me know if you have any questions about it. This has been my experience. Obviously, it's not your experience. Did I miss anything in these two comparisons? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to chat about it. Keep in mind that this phone I will no longer have, so if you want to know any more side-by-sides, I can't do it like I've done here, but I will also share anything that you guys want to know about the S24 Ultra. I'm really loving that phone. Plus, the hidden secret that I didn't show you guys about is the return of the S Pen. So it's just like the Galaxy Note of days gone by, you got the S Pen back. I mean, how cool is that? That's worth the $300 all by itself. Hey, thanks for watching all the way to the end of this video. We hope you enjoy the content in this video, and we'd love to have you come back. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And for those subscribers who are looking for that extra special thing that you can do to support this channel, consider joining our members group. That's where we're building this community, the Gears and Tech community, where we can all enjoy content together. You'll get special perks, which we'd love for you to check out by clicking the link down below. For those of you who are just happy to watch the video, that's okay too. You can check out some of our other content right over here, where we've got some previous videos that have already been uploaded and enjoyed by many of our viewers already. We do hope to see you again. This has been Gears and Tech. Have a great day.